Hey guys. I'm using a third-party system again, and I'm really hoping that I have this one figured out. I'm also doing this live for the first time in the middle of the day. Right now it is 12:41 my time. I usually run these lives at like 7 or 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, which is 9 or 10 o'clock on the East Coast. I tried running one the other day at 5, and now I'm just experimenting here with a random live at about 1 o'clock. So I wanted everyone to ask some questions, and we'll go ahead and do a live Q&A. You guys can ask me anything about eBay, business in general, about my personal life. If you guys want to dive into the NBA draft, we don't have to do that, but that was really cool to watch yesterday. And then I also wanted to talk about which are the saturated categories on eBay. Are there some? Is that a myth? I wanted to get your guys' thoughts and feedback on that. So there's a few things that people tell me, oh, wow, that used to be one of my favorite things to sell on eBay, but now I don't touch them. One of those items are Allen Edmond shoes. Some nice dress shoes. A lot of guys say they used to pick these up because they would sell instantly for over $100. Now you can only get 40 or 50 bucks for them. I bought these a couple weeks ago for $8, and I sold them for $105 plus shipping. So I don't know. Maybe they aren't as saturated as I thought, as most people thought. A lot of people always tell me all the time too that Tommy Bahama is just too saturated to sell, but I sell a lot of Tommy Bahama shirts as well. So let me know in the comments what brands, what items, what things are actually saturated, because I'd love to know your guys' opinions. I'm kind of under the belief that nothing is truly saturated. Take that with a grain of salt. I think it really comes down to mindset. My whole life I've heard about market saturation. I did door-to-door sales for a long time, about 5 years. Each summer I would go to a different city or a different state and knock on people's doors and ask them if they would like pest control. My first year, I went to what everyone believes to be a saturated market of Columbus, Ohio. The team that I went with and I personally did great. I went back the next year. Then I was told that Florida was a really saturated market, so I went to Fort Lauderdale for a little bit. We did pretty well there. I was told that Louisiana was a very saturated market. We did very well there. I've heard that Texas is a very saturated market. I hear California is a saturated market. I hear like market saturation and all these things, but I really believe it's like a mindset switch. That if you tell yourself it's saturated and not worth selling in, then it's not going to be. But if you tell yourself I don't care what's in front of me, I'm going to get mine, you're usually going to get it. So keep that in mind when you're selling on eBay. A lot of people will try to tell you, oh, don't pick this up because it's saturated. But if you have the right item, if you title it in a correct way, if you have an awesome price, awesome return policy, if everything is correct on the listing, I don't really believe that items are saturated. For example, those Allen Edmonds, everyone told me to stop picking them up. I hope people stop picking them up because I'm picking them up and I'm having a great time selling them for $100 plus every time. So I'm going to keep picking those up, even though they are saturated. But yeah, so we have the new software here. Not a ton of people are asking questions yet. Hopefully you guys can ask a few more questions. If not, I understand that a lot of you are probably working, which is good. This is just kind of an experiment to see what type of demographic I have online during the midday. Like I said, I usually do these at around later in the day. So here we go. Let me know if you guys can see that on the screen. This is awesome. I think the live broadcasts are going to run much more smoothly. So DB Resells saying a quick hi. Thank you, dealer, also says hello. Snugglebug4TM also says, hey, Jake. Hey, guys. Thanks for reaching out and saying hi. Those are the only comments / questions we have right now. So if you guys don't have any questions, I guess we'll just move on, and I'll understand that this is not the best time to do lives, because I usually do them later on in the night. So if you guys have any questions, just let me know. I also wanted to thank you guys. I just recently put a Amazon affiliate link in my channel description, and people have already bought 5 items with a 10% conversion rate. That's awesome. I've talked about striving for a 1% conversion. So thank you guys so much for supporting me in that and getting your shipping and cleaning and photo station supplies from there. So we got some questions filing in now, which is good. John says it's way too busy to watch this live. We'll check out later tonight. Yeah, I kind of imagined that. I just wanted to do a quick little experiment to see if this was something that my subscribers would be interested in. I know most of you guys are working right now, which is awesome. So keep that up. I'm late, so I'm watching at ×2 speed till I catch up. Haha. Well, we've only been going for like 5 minutes, so you'll catch up real quick. StreamYard is the go-to for live streams. Works great. Yep. So that's what I'm using here. So Bold Finds, the UK YouTuber eBay flipper, he showed me this software, and it's seeming to work really well. It's also cool because if I ever wanted to invite anyone on a live stream, I can split the screen and add different guests, which is really cool as well. So yeah, I think I'm going to use this moving forward. So yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions. Thank you, Dealer says, listening and listing at the same time. Just recently found you on YouTube. We run our store and our home too with a similar setup. Yeah, that's cool. I actually really enjoy listening to long form eBay content while I list. So I like to listen to my favorite resellers' lives as I list. It gets them a little boost in some revenue, and I get to learn and immerse myself in what I'm actually doing. So very great strategy there. Regamble says, hi, Jake. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for coming out. Howdy, I'm watching your watcher numbers go up. Personal, what color are your eyes? I have blue eyes. Yep, I got blue eyes. I really like my eyes. They're pretty cool. I think I'm just not pricing correctly. Cool, Lululemon, Tommy Bahama sit a while for me. Yep, so those are what you could call quote unquote saturated because a lot of people are looking for those, buyers and sellers. What's good about that is buyers are also looking for those items. So those are 3 really good brands to be looking out for. And it just, yeah, sometimes it comes down to price. Sometimes it just comes down to just waiting it out and getting what you're asking for. And then other times you just have to kind of check your titles, make sure that your policies are all squared away. But yeah, those are 3 really good brands. Maybe just play around with the titles and the pricing a little bit. Victoria Lynn says, what's your oldest listing edit and revision routine? After 45 days, I do a markdown of 15%. If they don't sell in another 45 days, I mark them down 20%. And I keep doing that every 45 days at 5% increments. And if they don't sell for 45 days at 30% off, I usually delete them from my store. Unless they're like seasonal or like super, super niche that require more time to sell. But I usually don't pick up those items anyway. People correlate being saturated with not selling when they have bad photos, bad titles, both or something similar, like a bad standing account. Yep. A lot of factors come into play when things aren't selling, just like you said, with bad photos, bad titles. And account health is actually very important. eBay wants the buyer to have a good experience. So if you don't give the most positive experience, which is directly correlated with your account health, you're not going to be able to sell your items as quickly and as often because eBay doesn't trust you with that traffic. So good point. Hey, Jake, how do you price something that you know is rare and probably high value but hasn't ever been sold on eBay or anywhere else? So I look on eBay to see if it has sold. If it hasn't, then I'll look up something similar to it and gauge that. But to be honest, sometimes when something is rare, it just means it hasn't sold and never kind of will. So you got to be careful about picking those things up. But yeah, there's always, so like if you have a baseball that's signed by kind of a no-name player, that's rare, but it's not necessarily valuable. But you can look at other baseballs that have been signed by other not so amazing players and see what those sell for. And then you can list yours accordingly. Does that make sense? On the web. Yep. Just continuing your question. Hey, switched all my shipping labels to pirate ship. Now banking points on my credit card. Thanks. Yeah, that's a game changer. My wife and I are going to Hawaii soon, completely paid for via credit card pirate ship points. So that's awesome. I'm going to make a video eventually. A lot of people ask me which card I use. I'm actually just going to make a video on my process so that way people have that information. Do you close your eBay store when you go on holiday? I don't, because I have employees and I coordinate it to make sure that my shop is open every single second of existence. So yeah, that is one of the things that can definitely make it so you have variable traffic, which leads to variable income. So I always make sure that my store is open and ready to go. I know a lot of people aren't to that point yet. So yeah, if you go on vacation, what I would do is I wouldn't put my store on vacation mode. I would just extend my handling time. So like if you have same day shipping, next day shipping, 2-day shipping, but you go on like a 3-day vacation, I would just put a 7-day handling time and then just let the buyers know like, hey, like I'm on vacation, so it's going to take me longer to ship this out, but once I get back, I'll ship it to you. Okay, we just have a few more questions here. Nathan says, do you ever go to flea markets to source? Never heard you mention those before. Yeah, so my town isn't big enough to have flea markets, so I would go to flea markets more often if they were more readily available to me. I do go to Vegas flea markets here and there, and then I've been to Northern Utah flea markets twice, but they just never been too good. But I definitely want to go to flea markets more. You can really get a ton of stuff for super cheap, so I'm looking into that. And then Bozo the Clown says Terapeak. Yeah, so I think he was talking to Manny with their question about pricing. Terapeak is always a good way to go. And if you still can't find information on your specific item, you can definitely look into similar items. But yeah, so that's all the questions we have. If you guys want to keep this live going, you can go ahead and ask a few more questions. If not, we can just go ahead and wrap this up. I know a lot of you guys are working, so no worries. Master Maniac Mexico. Forgot that I can just click on him now. Says, good. I guess morning, sir. I'm working on a new photo station right at that moment. What? Welcome, little helper, listening to your pal. Yep, creating the photo station, getting everything set up is really cool. I'm going to do a video on my photo setup and my cleaning processes. That'll be coming out soon. A lot of people ask me about my specific setup, so I'll be doing that. It looks like I can star comments. Let me see what that does. A little experiment here. Okay, so I guess I'm able to star comments on my side, but it doesn't show you guys anything, so good to know. Okay, I don't have a question. Just keep talking about stuff. It helps me work, LOL. Yeah. Not a lot of people have questions today, but that's okay. We have one right here. What are you using to track your accounting? So my accounting process is pretty simple. I just keep like 2 or 3. This is not tax advice. Talk to your own accountant. This is just for entertainment purposes only. But I keep 2 or 3 receipts a month that I'm able to average out my average cost of goods. So it doesn't matter if I buy something for $40 or $1. I'm able to average all of my items out and say, hey, I bought 10,000 items this year for $4.44 each. So that's going to be $44,444 on my tax bill. And then I also have a spreadsheet that I update monthly. But yeah, taxes aren't as hard as some people make it out to be, but they definitely need to be taken care of. And the easiest way to take care of them is to just have a professional CPA tax accountant to tell you what to do. And that's just it's by far the best way to do it. Same LOL. Question then. Next weekend is the midpoint of 2023. How are you doing against the goals you set for yourself at the start of the year? Yeah, so doing good. I've already done more. So I've been doing eBay for about 20 months now. So just under full 2 years. And I've made more money in this 6 months than I made last year total. So that's good. My goal is to be up like 150% at the end of this year. And right now I'm on track for that. So yeah, that's going well. Thanks for the question. A TurboTax CPA is only like $79. Yep. It's just like $79 for them to completely take care of everything for you. And yeah. Sweet guys. I just sold. A lot of people ask me if I sell car parts. I just sold a BMW professional stereo CD player for $89 plus $20 shipping. So it's always cool to get those sales. What do you foresee your schedule looking like if and when you have a kid in the future? I work a remote job and do eBay before I start my job. Source almost everything online. Kid makes it harder. LOL. Yeah. I'm super excited to be a father one day. I am working really, really hard right now to set up multiple streams of income to get employees to be able to streamline my processes. So that way I can spend the majority of my day at home while still making large amounts of money. I'm really excited for that. I'm prepping and making as many plans as possible, listening to people that have kids and that have more experience and are smarter than me. And a lot of people give really good tips. So I'm just always trying to do my best to prepare for that. I'm really excited for that, but it's also going to be very difficult, but I'm super pumped for that. So I'm always aware of that and trying to make plans for it. What does your day look like? Are you methodical with how you plot your time? Yeah, I'll read you my schedule. So my schedule is basically the same Monday through Saturday. It's doesn't waver a lot. Let's see if I can find it. Where'd it go? Schedule. Here we go. So I wake up at 6 a.m. every day. My wife wakes up at 4:50, so she's already been up for an hour and a half. And I don't get up at 6 every time. Sometimes it's like 6:15. And we take our dog on a 1.5 mile walk. Then when I get back from that walk, I kind of putter around. Jeff Bezos calls this the putter. For about 10 or 15 minutes, I just kind of try to wake up a little more. I read articles about the Utah Jazz and trade rumors and things like that. I just kind of do nothing for 10 to 15 minutes. Then at 6:55, I do my customer service and I send 20% offers to watchers. At 7 o'clock, I list 20 items. Then at 8:30, I leave for the thrift store. Then I get back. And then while I'm at the thrift store, my employee arrives at 9 o'clock. At 10:30, I arrive home and I ask my wife if she needs me to do anything, or I take a 15-minute mental break. Then at 10:45, I create a YouTube video and thumbnail and do a little bit of YouTube stuff. At 12 o'clock, I list 20 more items, and then I'm usually done at about 2 or 2:30. And then I just usually end up doing more work. But I also enjoy a lot of things outside of work that I get to do. Like I really like watching basketball. I like going golfing and hiking and just hanging out with my wife and friends. In line with TurboTax, I can't find a COGS. Yeah, I don't have TurboTax, so I don't know how to help you guys there. And that's the end of our questions here. We're about 20 minutes in. We have 59 people here watching, so that's good. StreamYard doesn't tell me how many likes the video has. So that's another thing as well. Full screen. Sorry, I'm just kind of experimenting with the software here. Tone says, Tone Morris says, wow, congrats, man. That's amazing. Thanks. Yeah. A really clear schedule goes a long way. A lot of you guys know I went on a 2-year mission in Mexico where I just served people of Mexico and talked to them about Jesus. And my mission president, who directed everything, he said, show me your morning and I'll show you your mission. And that's just kind of stuck with me my whole life. Like, okay, if I can just really destroy the first 3 hours, 6 hours, 9 hours of my day, I'm always going to be productive and I'm going to have a good time. So you guys let me know. 6 likes, now 9. Yeah, it only has 6 likes. Yep, sweet. So we're 20 minutes in, 57 spectators. Not a ton of questions. How will the change to USPS first class affect shipping? It's definitely going to. It's just kind of like a wait and see kind of thing. It's not going to be like huge changes. It's actually only going to change shipping rates by like a few pennies on average. So it's not going to be like any major huge changes. And once the changes actually go into effect, me and other YouTubers will make videos about it. But you can, for now, I advise just keeping all your policies the same, and it's not going to be that huge of a change, because things that you normally ship out for $5.38 will now ship out for $5.12. Things that you normally ship out for $12.78 will now ship out for $12.70. So for now, it's okay to just keep your same policies because those changes are coming, but it's not like huge differences. When are you able to quit your day job after starting selling on eBay? So for me, it's kind of different because I've never really had a day job. For the last 7 years of my life, I've just done strictly my own businesses and then 1099 sales for other businesses for 2 or 3 months at a time to acquire capital. So yeah, but to answer your question, I had my own pest control company that I was doing full time, and then I started to add eBay on the side. And then about 2 months in, I was doing half of my focus on eBay, half of my focus on the pest control. And then about 2 months after that, I sold the majority of my pest control company. I still do like 30 to 40 accounts just for kind of like friends and family, and a few of the older generation that really liked having our service. And then I just focus full time on eBay. Do you run markdown sales full time? In what intervals? Yeah, so this is my most asked question. So I'll keep answering it over and over and over again. It's fine. Every 45 days. So if an item sits for 45 days, I mark it down 15%. 45 days later, if it's still in my store, I do it another 5% to 20. 45 days after that, 25. 45 days after that, 30. 45 days after that, I get it out of my store because it's been sitting for too long. So yeah, that's how I do things there. We have run out of questions again. Definitely, I appreciate everyone coming out. There's 63, now there's 69 people, but I can really tell that you guys are getting more work done. So I'll definitely be doing these lives more at night because usually I can't keep up with the chat. But now there's so few questions that I just that we're kind of dragging. Nathan says, "Why did you choose eBay over pest control?" Because pest control, I had to convince myself to do it every day, and it was kind of like a job. And then eBay, just going to thrift stores and garage sales and listing things online, didn't feel like a job to me. And pest control, if you do it the right way, has really high margins. But eBay, selling used items on eBay, has really, really high margins. Like it's wild. So yeah, for that reason, for those two reasons, I went to eBay. It didn't feel quite like a job to me, which was awesome. And the margins are ridiculous. Like a lot of times we take eBay and selling things online for granted. Like people, like businessmen are really excited when they find a business that can make them 15 to 20% margin. If you do eBay right, you can have like a 60, 65% margin, which is honestly disgusting. So that's why I switched to eBay. Can you explain offering returns versus not and buyer paid or seller paid returns? Yeah, so I think as a general rule, if you want to be serious about being a business owner and about creating a quality experience for your buyers, you should do returns. Think about it from a buyer's perspective. Like, I just wouldn't buy anything if it doesn't have a return, right? A return policy. I never plan on returning items, and I never do. Like, maybe once or twice every once in a while. But if something says no returns, I just skip over it, because that has nothing to do with the eBay algorithm. It has everything to do with the psychology of your buyers. If someone sees that you have no returns, they know that they have 37 options right here on the same page that all do returns. So I'm just going to buy from them instead. So yeah, that's why I think returns are essential. Plus, it does give you an algorithm boost, because eBay's whole goal is to provide the best experience possible for the buyer, and they have millions and millions and millions of megabytes of data telling them that buyers have a better experience when the seller offers returns. Buyer paid or seller paid returns. I do seller paid returns because it's just a better experience for the buyer and it's a better experience for eBay. So you're going to get more traffic as a result of that. And returns, even for me, an everything seller that doesn't know anything about my items, my return rate is less than 4%, which is awesome for me. So I'll take that. And you also get benefits from eBay for having seller paid returns. You get an extra boost from top rated seller plus. Just got here. Thanks for stopping by, Carol. Looks like you guys are asking a few more questions, so thanks. We'll keep this going. Keep going ahead and asking some questions, because we're getting through them really quick today. Do you promote every one of your listings? Yes, I promote every single one of my listings at 2.6%. There's a lot of items that don't need to be promoted to sell, but there are a lot of items that definitely do need to be promoted to sell. And I don't want to waste my time on which ones should and shouldn't. So I just do flat across the board at 2.6, which that number has done great for me. If I doubled it to 5, I would probably sell more, but I'm comfortable with the sales that I get and the profit that I'm acquiring per sale. What's your biggest sell category? My biggest sell category is, I think it's digital cameras right now. So like little Canons and Sonys and things like that. And then my next one is remote controls. But my biggest sales category only accounts for like 7% of my sales. So I have a very wide variety and a big mix of things. Have you ever shared your eBay store name? If not, that's okay. May I ask, how many listings do you currently have? Yeah, I have 2,100. My store name is 21J Ride. I've posted it several times on my YouTube channel banner, and the link is broken every single time. So I might just be an idiot. I think I'm pretty good with technology, but for some reason, like, I have my Amazon affiliate store link that works. I have my Instagram link that works, but the eBay link never works. I don't understand why. But yeah, it's 21JRIDE. That's my store name. Who do you think was the winner of the NBA draft? The Rockets had a really good draft, man. They got one of the Thompson brothers, and they got Cam Whitmore all the way at 20. Cam Whitmore is getting a thumb surgery, so a few teams were like wary about that. And I guess he didn't have a very good combine, because he was projected to go at one point he was projected to go 6th. Heading into the draft, he was projected to go like 8th or 9th. And he slid all the way to 20. So the Rockets did really well getting Amen Thompson and Cam Whitmore. I sold something today for $100 that I paid $5 for. So yeah, I hear you on the margins. LO. Yep. These right here, I bought these for $8 and sold them for $120. Freaking awesome margin. Can't find that anywhere else. It's a glitch in the matrix. Good on you, Nathan. I sold my first remote control today, added them to the Rolodex after watching your video on remote controls. So thanks. Yeah, remote controls is a awesome thing to start breaking into. I will start seller paid returns on the 20th of next month. Everyone just lies INADs anyway. Yep. Yeah. So that's like that's where entrepreneurs and business owners are separated from just average people. Like, you can complain about that and not change anything, or you can be proactive like yourself and accept it as a reality and just say, hey, I'm just going to make money and I'm going to continue to expand my business. And that's really good on you. So good job. When are we going to see the storage unit videos? If you dabble in pest control, I don't see any negatives. Yeah, so I talk about this on my channel a lot. If you chase two rabbits, they both get away, especially with my personality. There was a point where I was making $25,000 a month in my pest control company. And then I started making $7,000 a month pest control, $7,000 a month eBay. So I was losing $9,000 a month. Then I sold off my pest control, and now I make over $30,000 a month from eBay on average. And then now YouTube is directly correlated with eBay. So I'm not chasing two rabbits. I'm just adding on an extension to my eBay business. So I'm able to stay a lot more focused and make more money. But when I try to do multiple things, all the ships start to sink. All the submarines start to sink. Get it? Because the news. When are we going to see storage unit videos? Do you mean like buying storage units? I've never bought a storage unit ever. So let's see. Thank you for answering my question. Of course. I love answering questions. This is one of my favorite things to do. How about parts or repair returns? Yep, free returns on those as well. Someone just said earlier, people lie about INADs. And so if I have a camera that says 4 parts not working, a lot of people buy it and they don't read the description. They don't see that it's broken. And then they return it and say, item not as described, even though it was described accurately. If you have free returns on item not as described, it will force the return. And so you'll have to return it anyway. And you can't withhold the shipping amount because it's a forced return. But if you just have free returns on that, you'll be able to withhold the shipping because it wasn't your fault. It was theirs. So you received those protections because you offered free shipping, because you offered returns on those. But if you don't offer returns, you're screwed because people can just lie and then you're cooked. How much of your quick YouTube success would you attribute to the effort you've put into it? All of it. So yeah. Same with eBay. Same with relationships. Same with anything in life. You get what you put in. You gotta create your own luck. So, like when I was in high school, I would build Instagram accounts and Twitter accounts and then sell them. And my friends would always be like, "Oh, dude, how do you do that?" And I would say, "You have to put in a full-time effort. Like, you can't just do it for 25 or 30 minutes a day like they wanted to." I would go to school and then I'd come home and I'd do it for like 4 hours, and then I go hang out with friends, and I come back and I do it for 4 hours because I could never sleep. So like, you have to put a ton of effort into anything that you want to grow. Thanks for the question, Nate. How many items did you have in your store when you started to sell one item per day? I can't remember. I think it was like 17, maybe 25. Do you use scheduled listings on eBay? Nope. I have a draft bank that I have. Weird sentence. I have a draft bank that I list manually from every morning, so I don't run into mistakes like a mistake that I just made here, selling a Peter Millar summer comfort for 99 cents. Wah, wah. Happens. Thank you. I sold my first Duluth teas today, $35 profit. Yep, Duluth Trading is a great company, one of those saturated brands. But if you have a good listing, you'll do it. Do you think 2.1% promoted listing is not high enough? Loaded question. I can't answer it without additional context and information. If you want to sell half an item more per day, then yeah, it's probably great. If you want to sell 100 items more per day, then you would need to do 80%. So it just kind of depends on your goals and what outcome you would like from the promoted listings. But yeah, I mean, 2.1 is great. I do 2.6. It's not far off from that. Do you sell CDs? No. I mean, a lot of people make a lot of money from CDs. I just don't. Like the average CD is worth like 25 cents. And then like a decent one is worth $6. And then there are a ton of them worth 10, 15, 20, 80, 300, but they're few and far in between. And so I've just never taken the time to learn all of them. Hey, look, for my work truck broke down. Now I can sit and watch this since I have an hour and a half to kill. Dragon Hero, the work truck breaking down, man. You were saying the other day on my 5 o'clock live that it was still too early, and now you're here at the 1 o'clock. So I guess it was meant to be that the truck broke down. That sucks though. Hopefully you're able to get it fixed up, and it doesn't cost you too much money. Also, what's the story behind that $50,000 statue you were selling? Yeah, I have a statue in my eBay store that I'm selling for like, I think it's $65,000. Let me see. Active listings. Yeah, so I have antique 19th century Italian Valentino sculpture. It's a Renaissance boy. There's only 2 of them in the world. They both sat at the bottom of a staircase in a castle. This really rich lady that I know here, she wants to sell it. And she said that she'll just take 30,000 and then anything above that I can keep. So kind of a little consignment there. Like people say that there's like no rare items on eBay. There's one of them. There's only 2 in the world. Buying, you should. Not sure if you were answering someone else's question there. Who's your favorite NBA player currently active and all time? Oh, sweet. Sorry. Anthony Flores just gave me a $10 super chat. Oh, thank you so much, dude. Guys, I don't know what it is about super chats. That's just like the biggest dopamine hit in the world. Like, I just sold a bat this morning for $200. Stone cold, no emotion. I get a $10 super chat and I just can't handle it. Oh, sorry. Who is your favorite NBA player currently active in all time? My favorite current player is Giannis. I love the Greek Freak. Really cool guy. I also have really high hopes for Scoot Henderson. I really like point guards. I played point guard in middle school and high school and stuff. So I've always looked up to point guards. Darren Williams was my guy growing up, as well as John Stockton, because I'm a Utah fan. But my favorite player all time is honestly probably already Giannis. I think Giannis is my favorite current and all-time player. It's a common term used by people, seller on YouTube, when they say I make 30K a month. I take it that it's just sales, not profit. I'm new to this in the UK, trying to use your advice, but UK is different. Yeah, so my eBay business, I make about 25 to 30K profit per month because I sell like $30,000 to about $30,000 a month on eBay, which is revenue that I make 60% profit from. And then I also have I'm able to get a ton of lesser value items for like 25 to 50 cents that I'm able to lot up and sell to another guy in a different state for $4 to $5 each item. And so I've got a system there where I make another like anywhere from $4,000 to $6,000 a month from that as well. But yeah, a lot of people say they make that much money a month and they're usually referring to revenue, which is fine too. Hi, have you ever thought about selling on Amazon too? Yeah, I don't. So there's just a lot more like gates and barriers. So like for CDs and DVDs, for example, you have to have sold enough money in different categories to get a certain category unlocked. And plus, Amazon can ban you for any reason. So can eBay. But Amazon will just like ban people, ban people, ban people. And then what's cool about eBay, a lot of people will disagree with me because negativity is far more prominent than positivity. But like eBay actually gives a fair shake to all sellers, unless your listings are just really bad or your titles suck. eBay shows a lot more items to people, and then on Amazon they really only show like the top 6%. So like Amazon's harder to break into. But yeah, I have an Amazon storefront where I sell other people's products for an affiliate. Like, so I make like anywhere from 2 to 10% of the total sale, but I don't sell any products on Amazon myself. What kind of camera do you use for your photography, for photographing your items? This bad boy right here, my iPhone 14. I also do all my listings from my phone. So you would recommend free resend, not air, all conditions? Yeah, I do free returns on all items, all conditions, because people can force a return anyway. So I just eliminate that stress and worry. What state would you like to source in that you have not? I do Florida. So like people say that half of the people, I mean, it's probably not half and half, but some people say that Florida is this amazing honey hole of a state for reselling. And then other people say it is the worst, most saturated, terrible reselling state on the planet. So I would love to go there and see what my experience is. I think Florida is really cool, but a lot of people say it is terrible hot garbage, and other people say it is flowing milk and honey. So I'd love to see what Florida has to offer. Are you getting tired of seeing yourself on YouTube? You need to chill, dude. You're going to burn out in 90 days, no matter how motivated you are. Just saying, love the channel. So being negative. Yeah, I don't burn out, dude. I'm not like other people. You'll see. Do you think white backgrounds for photographing are bad? Also, do you have a particular photo setup for clothing? Yeah, I use neutral background. The reason why I use neutral background is because it gives a more accurate representation of what the item actually is, especially when it's used. A lot of people that have white background get a lot of returns, and the return reason is people say thought it was new, because when you have a white background, especially if it's like a floating white background, the item looks new. So it's not an accurate representation of the actual item that you're selling, especially when it's used. Not being negative. No worries. What 65,000? Yeah, I have a statue in my eBay store for $65,000. It has a few watchers, and someone actually already offered me 20,000 for it, but I think I'll be able to get at least 50,000 for it. Did you go to college? And if so, did you have a side hustle while you were a student? Not going to be able to do garage sales flips when I go back on campus. Don't have a car. Yeah, I'm a college dropout. I tell my wife all the time, for my next present, I want her to print off a big sign that says Masters in Everything, YouTube University. I think that college can be great for a lot of people, but I don't think you have to go to college to be successful. Actually, just the way that all the money tied up in it, like you have to go into debt $65,000 to make less than that a year. I started making way more than that with zero debt doing my own businesses. So I'm dedicated. That's what I'm talking about. Dragon Hero, I'm the best. Anthony Flores with the $10 super chat. That's awesome. Thanks so much, man. Oh, this is all company paid, LOL. If you ever come to Philadelphia, I'll give you some Frito-Lay chips. Yeah, so I talk about my mission to Mexico a lot. My best friend went to Philadelphia, and he said he loved it. So Philadelphia is really cool. Plus, a lot of really good NBA players come out of Philadelphia. I have $500 to $500 inflatable penguins that are alcohol advertisements. Trade you for the statue. No thanks. What is your eBay store? Been watching you for a while, but still don't know. It's 21JRide. 21JRIDE. Thank you so much for sharing the knowledge. Very much appreciated. If possible, can you please share your thoughts on putting a store on vacation versus extended shipping and handling time? Yeah, I actually just talked about that like 12 minutes ago. So I have an employee that I coordinate with, so I don't have to worry about that, fortunately. But I know probably 99% of eBay sellers don't have an employee, which is perfectly fine. If I was in that case, I wouldn't put it on vacation mode. I would extend the handling time. So if you currently have, let's say, 1 day handling time and you're going on a 3-day vacation, just to be safe, I would put 5-day handling time. Because especially if you're a bigger store and you keep getting a lot of sales, you may come home to 138 packages, and you should probably split that up into 2 days, or so you don't crash and burn. But yeah, I would do the extended handling time over the vacation mode, but both work. So whatever works best for you and your business. Personally, I would do the extended handling time. Thank you guys so much for the questions. We're getting a ton more now. If you guys want to keep answering them, we can keep this going for a while. My wife, sister, mom, and grandma are all out at lunch right now. So I just decided to do a quick little call, a quick little live while they were having some fun. Nathan, who's asked a lot of questions today, which is awesome. Keep it up. Keep them coming. What are your thoughts on selling Bibles? I don't see an issue with it personally, since when you buy a Bible from a store, the store is profiting from it. I tithe on my profits. Yeah, I don't see an issue with that whatsoever. There's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. New seller on eBay. New sellers on eBay are limited to the number of listings they can post. I believe it's around 5. What is your suggestion for overcoming this? Yeah, so the reason why they do that is they want to make sure, first of all, that you're not like a scammer, because a lot of people hop on eBay, especially in the past, they'd hop on eBay and do a ton of listings, and then people would pay them for them, and they wouldn't send anything out, and they just like run away with the bag, right? So they want to make sure that you're not a scammer. Second of all, they want to make sure that you're actually like a quality business owner or side hustle owner, I guess. So like they want to make sure that you'll actually ship things on time. So it's kind of like when you get a credit card. Most credit cards, especially when you're early into the game, have like a $500 to $700 limit. But if you keep paying your card on time, they're going to increase it to $1,200, $2,000. My first credit card I ever got had a $700 limit. And I think today that same credit card has $8,500. And then I got a credit card that had a $19,000 limit. And right now it has like a $800,000 limit. Like I could go buy a house with it if I wanted to. That's not smart though, so don't do that. But yeah, so it's kind of similar to that. You just got to show them that that you're willing to do what it takes. And they also don't want you to grow super fast and just have a store of junk that doesn't sell. It's better to grow slowly than it is to do it super quickly. And I know I've grown relatively fast in 20 months, but I've still, in my opinion, gone slower than I've wanted to, so I can maintain quality in my store. But that's why they do that. Amazon is a good place for selling media-related items, CDs, books, etc. Yep, books on Amazon are goated, but yeah, CDs, DVDs like that, you have to get ungated, and sometimes it takes a while. But yeah, it's a very good place to do that. Midwest states are amazing for sourcing. Shout out Indiana. Yep, I have people in Indiana and Ohio comment on my videos all the time about how terrible and awful those states are for sourcing. But I've done a lot of sourcing in Ohio, and I think it's amazing. So eBay cropping photos is broken right now, both on the app and website, listing while listening. Nice. J-Ride, did you know Goodwill sends all of their good stuff, collectibles, high-end jewelry, watches, coins, etc., to their online auction? Yeah, most of them, not all of them. There's a lot of things that slip through the cracks. But yeah, they have a site where they sell a lot of that good stuff, which is just something that we as business owners have to adapt to. How do you schedule listings from your phone? I only have the option to save it for later or list. Yeah, I just save it for later. I don't schedule it from my phone. But you can save them all for later. And then on your desktop, you can select a ton of them at the same time to schedule later. Great question about what to do with kids. Working on it, of course, but definitely hard with ADHD mom. And one of my kids also super active while homeschooling both and trying to restart my eBay biz. Yeah, sounds like a busy life, but I don't know. I think life is designed to be and should be busy. So just keep giving yourself some grace. Keep trying to be as patient as you can with yourself and with your kiddos, and it'll all work out. If you want to be successful, you will be. If you make excuses to be successful, you'll be successful. If you make excuses to not be successful, then yeah, you won't be successful. So just keep making excuses every day to be the best mom, the best eBay business owner, and the best homeschool teacher. And I'm sure you can do it. What do you do if you mess up on shipping selection on eBay and you need to change it? A lot of times you have to unlist the item and put for the reason. You can put listing contained an error, and then just hit sell similar and change the shipping. Nathan says, have you tried listing on a computer? I might quit eBay if I had to go back to typing titles on my phone. Yeah, so I've listed on my computer and my phone. You don't have to type it out on your phone, though. You can just copy your own or someone else's listing and then adjust the title accordingly. Do you source home and car audio equipment from thrift stores? Yep, I actually just sold, it looks like you weren't here earlier. I just sold a BMW stereo system for about $100 that I got from the thrift store. Recently watched your YouTube short about starting your listing with the brand. What is your ideal listing name breakdown using clothing as an example? Thanks. 1 second. This is my employee's cheat sheet for listing clothing. So it is brand, item, such as shirt, jacket, shorts, gender, men, women, size, XL, large, 34 by 35, then color, blue, red, yellow, characteristics such as long sleeve, short sleeve, quarter zip. Then after that, you will put type such as dress shirt, not shirt though, just dress, polo, things like that. Then style, plaid, striped, polka dot. Then after that, keywords such as flip cuff, things like that. So, for example, let's say you were listing this shirt. This is the only time that I would put something before the brand. This blue tag with the silver embroidered, that's vintage. So for this, I would put vintage Ralph Lauren. Then I would do the item. So vintage Ralph Lauren shirt, men's 2XL Then from there, I would put short sleeve, green, striped polo. And then I would put as a keyword, big and tall. I'm sure you guys would want me to do another example, so I'll do that. I'll do another example for you guys. Let's say I was selling this random shirt. This is a pretty cool one. This is also a vintage one. Let me get a modern shirt. Okay. Here's an Ariat shirt. Really awesome brand to be looking for. This is a cool pattern. This one should sell quick. So I would do Ariat shirt, men's, medium, short sleeve, black, red, and then that's pretty much it for this shirt. You can put Western button down if you'd like to, but yeah, that's how I do clothing. And I'm sure there's going to be more questions about that, so you guys can go ahead and ask me any question you'd like on that if you guys want follow-up questions. What's your oldest listing and why has it not sold? Would love to see a live audit on that item. Yeah, I can do that sometime. I also don't know how to share my screen quite yet, but I have a ton of older items, just like remotes that don't have a really high sell-through or wallets. I used to buy a ton of women's wallets because like once you buy one thing in a category that sells, you're like, oh wow, everything must sell. So like I sold a few Coach wallets. Then I'm like, oh sweet, Liz Claiborne probably sells, and it doesn't. So I have like a few Liz Claiborne wallets and stuff up there. When I put my store in vacation mode, sales seem to explode because eBay knows I am not home to ship out. Just saying. I disagree with that. I think it's just like sometimes when you like think about yellow cars, you see them. Like when something happens rarely, we kind of think it happens every time. So like every time you open a video on YouTube, it never buffers. And then every once in a while it'll buffer. And then you think to yourself, oh, it always buffers, even though it was 1 out of 58 times. I think that's unfortunately just the psychological angle you're taking on that. Like eBay is just, eBay wants to make money. So they just do what's ever best to make money for themselves and for you. Hey, Jake, sorry I'm late. Busy doing stuff around the house, taking care of sales. That's what I'm talking about, John. Keep it up. That's what we're here for. I was a new seller and not limited on my items ever. I put up 25 right away. It's possible that you were already on the platform buying, because I never had that issue either. Because before I started selling on eBay, I would buy hundreds of basketball cards every month individually. So I actually started on eBay with like 380 feedback. And so they gave me all the limit increases that I needed because I've already had time established on the platform. Remember to like the stream. Hey, thanks a lot, William. Can you still send offers to watchers when you are away and your handling time is set sufficiently long to cover the holiday time? Yep. Yeah, you can still send offers to watchers and then you're on vacation or whatever. So like I would actually enjoy the vacation, but every time something sells, you can also send them a quick message saying, hey, just a reminder, I'm on vacation. I won't be able to ship this out for 3 or 4 days. Let me know if you have any questions. You still have access to all those features. It just tells people that you're on vacation. I'm ready for that new mic to come in. Yeah, I have it. I ordered a mic, just a clip-in mic. Hopefully it'll improve the quality of the videos. What is your strategy on selling stereo components? I have a lot of them. What is your strategy on selling stereo components? I have a lot of them, and only the lighter ones are selling. I use 12 by 12 by 12. I don't think that really has anything to do with lighter or heavier. It's just like the brand and the component itself. The majority of things that I buy online fit in my hand. And then the majority of things that are too big for my hand, I've actually noticed that. Like if I want a cooler, I don't buy it off of eBay. I buy it from Walmart. So that might be a psychological play as well, that people just buy smaller things online more often. But I sell big things online all the time. After this call, I'm going to ship out this big old Polk subwoofer. So just list it all. Also going to ship out this vacuum canister. So big things sell too. Just list it all. Have good policies and they'll sell eventually. But yeah, small things definitely sell faster. Wow, speaking of big things, live eBay here. I have this listed for $74.90. And someone just offered me $59.92. I am going to accept that. So now we got 2 big old subwoofers to ship out today. I am seeing a lot of other reseller streamers flexing their cash on their videos. I see this as a huge safety issue. Do you care to comment on this? Yeah, people can do what they want. One of the best ways to get views and clicks is to talk about actual money. And some people do it in an exaggerated fashion. And some people do it in a way to actually inspire and show like how much you can actually make. So it's just up to each individual creator. And it's up to you as a consumer to pick what you'd like to actually consume. So I think people should, within reason, if they're not harming other people or like doing threats or whatever, I think people should be able to do what they want. And then there's responsibility placed on the content creator to be a good person. And then there's responsibility placed on the consumer to only consume content that they want to and that will help them be a better person. So people can do what they want. Is there a specific item or category that when you find a thrift store that just makes you smile ear to ear? Or is there an item that you are chasing that you've never found? Yeah, if you guys check out my most recent short, I found a camera for $4 that had a $600 lens on it. So that's freaking sweet. That's a big old smile. I love to find cool baseball bats. I love to find vintage Walkmans. I get really excited when I find things like that all the time. But yeah, there has been consistently over 100 people on this stream for the last 30 minutes. This is awesome. Maybe I'll have to implement some midday streams. What do you guys think? Let me know. I find in and out around me, the thrift stores here have very good DVD, Blu-ray, and CDs. Some long tail, but always worth getting money when they do sell. Yeah, media is a huge, huge category that a lot of people make a full-time living just from media. So like if you have a nice area where you're getting a lot of those, and a lot of it just has to do with your knowledge too. I'm sure you've taken the time to learn about them and look them up. So that's very good on you. Keep it up. That's a lot of my business so far. Yeah, keep that up. Have you taken the COVID vaccine? COVID really helped thrifting in Los Angeles. So many terrified thrifters quit thrifting for a full year. So it got much easier for me to get good stuff. Yeah, I went on a cruise, so I had to get vaccinated for that. So yeah. I had a pretty good find. I think the other day I found 4 Tesla hubcaps for $20. Yeah, that's a good one. I'll do a live lookup real quick to see if you got a good buy, in my opinion, which Tesla almost always is. Anything Tesla related. Yep. In used condition. Yeah. Yeah, I think you got a pretty good buy. Depending on the model, it looks like one of them can sell anywhere from like $20 to $40 plus shipping. All 4 of them looks like it sells for $1 to $120. So yeah, good buy right there. Do you all of your eBay from your phone? Yeah, I do all of my eBay listings from my phone, every single one of them. But I launched them from my draft from my desktop. Actually, I launched them from the desktop version on my phone or my desktop. But yeah, I do all of my listings with my phone. I take all the pictures, do all the titles, all that stuff from my phone. My store has 24 items and I just started listing 2 per day. On average, I get about 15 to 20 items per week since I'm just getting started and figuring out what sells. Goal is to sell 1 item per day. That's awesome. Stick with that. A lot of people, they get a little too antsy and they like want to jump to 5 or 10 or 15 immediately. Just keep growing slow. Keep really identifying what's selling well, what isn't selling, and then just keep growing slow from there. And you are going to be much better at this job because of it. Do you purchase eBay labels? Or do you use other options like Pirate Ship? Yeah, I use Pirate Ship. I use Pirate Ship so I can capitalize on my credit card that gets travel points. And because of that, my wife and I are able to take some really big trips every single year. I mean, we've only been married for a year, but we've already been on a few cool trips. And we're going to go on a ton more cool ones. I only list from my phone and schedule them every day since I have a full-time job. Yep. Yeah, the cool thing about business is it can be catered to any individual system. So like some people will say this is the best and only way you should do things. It's like, well, like what if you're already making $180,000 from another place and you just want to be able to quickly get up 6 listings during lunch on a subway train? Like, oh yeah, you can exclusively do postcards and then just do them with your phone on the seat right next to you. And then you're done by the time you get home. Like there's so many different ways to do business. So just pick what works best for you. Listen to people that are more experienced and have more time in the business than you and really, really think about what they say and then just apply what's best for your business. Sunshine62, $5 super chat. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Says, hi, thanks for having an earlier live. I just want to tell you how much I enjoy your videos. You have helped me so much. 100K will be here next month. That's what I'm talking about. Ooh, 100K from... Are you saying 100K subscribers for me next month? It's a tall order, but we'll see what happens. Thank you so much for that super chat. You guys are awesome. Turn this explanation into a short. Yeah, I actually have a company that takes takes snippets from my long form videos and makes them into shorts for me. So that's really cool. Yay, I made it to a live. Hey, Dragon Hero. Hey, welcome to the live. You've made it to a couple of my lives. I recognize your name there, Bella Resells. Thanks for making it out. You always ask good questions and help other people out in the chat. So thanks. I found an old pair of Levi's the other day. One had a green blue pocket and the other one was the normal white. Couldn't find much info about it. Yeah, so did you try using Google Lens? And then you can also look up on eBay specific search terms that'll help it pop up as well. Afternoon. Thanks, RW. Dragon Hero and Bella are having a little conversation with each other. Do you use the sell similar or create a new listing? I sell similar from my own listing if possible, and then I also just copy other people's listings too. Thanks. I love J-Ride Lives. I have to find my notebook on eBay questions to ask him. Break it out. Let's go. Goodwills in California area stated that they are going to start individually pricing every item. That seems bad for resellers and for them as well. Yeah. There's these business cycles that those things come into play, and then the consumer will respond to it. That'll either be a really good move for their business and they'll do it more and more and more, or it will end up being negative for them. They will get less and less sales, and so they will stop doing it. So we just have to stick around for the cycle and see what happens. I feel like thrift stores trying to get max value for their items is kind of counterintuitive, as they generate income from having next to zero product costs and good turnover, not hyper focusing. Yeah, exactly. Just like I said, this will be a sales cycle. We'll see if it works out good for them. If they make more money, they're going to continue to do it. If their profits start to slip, then they're going to stop doing it. But yeah, guys, I'm sorry to do this, but my employee just got back. Man, I missed like 20 questions. I'm so sorry, but she, I think I have 5 more minutes. So I'll try to answer a few more real quick. So we'll wrap this up here in a minute. What's up, bro? How did you test the BMW stereo? I have a bunch of different multimeters and other plug-in and speakers that I'm able to use. Green light. Midday streams good for us as while we list. Yep, that was one of the experimentations I wanted to do today. Have you and do you use Depop? Nope, I do eBay only. I don't want to get distracted on other platforms. Dang, how'd I miss the start? Yep, I do these very randomly. My wife is looking at me through the window. Finally made it to a live stream. Thanks for coming out. This was that super chat. Thank you so much for that. Do you have to have a store to list? Nope, you don't have to have a store. You can just list up to a certain amount of items without a store. You probably already answered this, but what is faster for you with listing photo or camera and SD card? My phone is a lot faster for me to list on. Just my preference though. Do you find the extra time it takes to ship it through Pirate Ship tedious? No, I don't find the free trips to London tedious whatsoever. Toy shell bins are getting expensive. I stay away from them. That was a conversation they were having in the chat. We use Pirate Ship on occasion. Box and bag is nice, but since you mentioned travel miles, we pay for a credit card stored in PayPal. You could also do that and keep it all on eBay. Yeah, you can do that as well. It's an option. Old Guy Shoes say, keep up the good work as you inspire people to be better business owners. Man, I sure hope I do. That's I love to hear that. I run out of room, 100K subscribers. Man, I don't know if I can get to 100K subscribers next month, but we'll see. I don't think so. Yeah, that's a tall order. What is your average impression count under the traffic report each month? I'm averaging 1.5 million with a good, decent click-through rate. Just wondering if that's good for a 480 item store. Yeah, it is. That those numbers aren't super important. What's super important is how many you're listing and how many you're selling. Sometimes you can get a little distracted in those numbers when those go up and down. But it's just like on YouTube, for example, like a really good click-through rate is 15%. And if I have a 15% click-through rate on 10,000 impressions, that's only 1,500 views. But if I only have a 6% click-through rate, but it has 8 million impressions, then I'm going to get 1 million views. So it's better to have more views than it is to have a better click-through rate. So that on YouTube. And on eBay, it's better to have more sales than it is impressions, if that makes sense. Great informative videos. Thank you so much. Wow. Skyth with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Says, thanks for all the info. I had an idea for a product for you. You should make a stylized sticker of your cheat sheet for listing. I'd buy that. Yeah, a couple people have reached out to me saying I should make a bolo list. So I'm contemplating it. Thank you so much for that super chat. That's awesome. Went to a church estate sale today. Early bird really gets the worm. Only found a Bears jacket. Oh, dude, Bears though. That's cool. Was it vintage? But yeah, early bird definitely gets the worm. ADHD flippers unite. Let's do this. Went to Goodwill in Orlando today. I haven't been to one in a long time. Now I see what everyone is talking about. They're so expensive. Yeah, they just continue to get more and more expensive. So we're just going to have to ride it out and see how people respond. If people keep buying, they're going to continue to increase. But a lot of times when companies try to increase their prices, buyers reject it. And so they have to go back down. So we'll see what happens. On my way to 1 million. Yeah, 1 million is great. Thrift stores have overhead costs beyond product. Yep, they also have to clean all of the items that come in. Washing machines can actually get pretty expensive. They have employees. They have to buy expensive POS systems. They have a ton of stuff. Last question of the day. How are you testing remotes if you don't have the device? I have a video where I deep dive into remotes. I just sold a remote for $34.87 plus shipping. $42.82, right when you asked that. That's funny. But if you hold it up to your smartphone and you open the camera and then you hold the remote and you click it, you should see an infrared light on your camera. That's how you know that the remote is working. And Lindy Moo just became a YouTube member. Hey, thank you so much for that. On that note, I will be starting a podcast soon that will just be exclusive for members at any level. I'm going to continue to give as much free content as possible here on YouTube. And then for anyone that would just like to listen to longer form content and would like to donate to the channel, you can do so by becoming a member. So I'm really excited about that program. I already have a bunch of other YouTubers in the niche that have talked about hopping on the podcast with me. So hopefully I'm able to provide a lot of good information with that. Remote bolo video was awesome, very helpful. Thank you so much. Yeah, Goodwill prices have gone crazy. Junk companies are great sourcing for vintage items. Yep. Sweet, guys. On that note, I'm going to go ahead and hop off. If any of you guys want to become a member, just as Lindy Moo did, so you can get access to the podcast, I'm going to launch the first podcast on Tuesday. And it doesn't matter what tier you sign up on. I'm just going to make it available for all tiers. So thank you guys so much for the questions, for the support. I love doing lives. This is my favorite part of just getting to know you guys a little bit better and answer questions. I really want to be able to help other people make a living. So thank you so much for coming out, and we'll see you guys next time.